What's going on, everyone? My name is Jeff, and in today's video we are going to initiate coverage on Aphria stock, ticker symbol APHA. It trades on the New York Stock Exchange and its current price is $10.18. So this video comes very highly requested. Got a lot of people that are interested in Aphria stock, and I think you can throw it in that same category as an Aurora Cannabis, a Canopy Growth, Tilray, Kronos Group, that this is a Canadian marijuana company that has seen explosive growth in the year 2018, has really jumped off the stock page. So let's just start with a little bit of background. Obviously, Aphria is a Canadian cannabis company. It is listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange and the New York Stock Exchange, and that's making it one of the biggest cannabis companies in the world. This company was founded in 2014, and its headquarters is located in Leamington, Canada. So this paragraph can briefly describe what they offer for patients. And it says that we understand that every patient's situation is unique, which is why we provide a personalized level of care to suit the individual needs of each patient. Our patient care does not stop with the initial consultation. Our team is committed to providing guidance and continued support throughout the entire patient experience. All of these websites kind of have the same feel to them, kind of have the same layout. They want to appeal to patients, they want to appeal to investors, and they want to appeal to people that are interested in recreational cannabis as well. So this is probably the part we are all most interested in. It says, for investors, we are committed to providing pharma-grade medical cannabis and superior patient care while balancing patient economics and returning to shareholders. And as you will see here in just a moment, Aphria has done very well trading on the stock exchange. So we'll just take a little look at some of their products. Obviously, guys, pretty much all these websites have a product type and availability, and you can even sort by THC, CBD, name, and price. So you can just go through here and select what it is exactly you're looking for, and that could bring up the products that they have. So nothing too, unique about this website, guys. They just seems like they offer different types of marijuana and cannabis oil, and that's what they have available here on the website for consumers to take a look at. And right here, guys, this is a list of the executive team for Aphria. So if you did want to go back through the background of some of the, like the chief executive officer or the co-founder and vice president, people like that, obviously you could take these names, punch them into Google, and do a little research on these people. But everything I do know about Aphria, this is a very respectable company with a very bright future. And then, of course, guys, Aphria actually come to the New York Stock Exchange on November 2nd. I actually made a video about that on the day that actually happened. So it has been on the American exchanges for a little better than 3 months now. Now this is probably the most critical information in this video. This is just a basic coverage of their earnings report back on January 11th. And Aphria announced that their Q2 revenue was up 63%. That would actually put them at a 155% increase from 1 year ago, going back to January. Then, of course, they've seen a huge spike in net income. That was at $54.8 million. That was up 743% year over year. Then 3,408 kilograms of cannabis sold. That was also up 92% from Q1. Cash production cost per gram was $1.76, up 35%. Then the average selling price per gram was $6.54. That was actually down 8% from Q1. Now, this does not make Aphria, one of the companies that stands out because the average selling price per gram went down. Pretty much all of the companies, your Canopy Growth and Aurora, are all experiencing the same thing. They're all competing very heavily for the rock bottom prices. Who is going to sell the cheapest? So as other companies cut their prices, Aphria is going to have to feel the competitive edge and also adjust their pricing to compete with other marijuana companies. But all in all, this was a very, very good earnings report. I think I was most impressed with their increase in net income and overall revenue numbers. So Aphria definitely has the growth, guys. That is for sure. Now let's take a look at some of their basic fundamentals. This is a $2.53 billion market cap company with an enterprise value of $2.43 billion. And from a profitability, management, effectiveness standpoint, these are actually some of the cleanest stats in the game, guys. So 146% on a profit margin. Doesn't appear they have a registered operating margin yet, but they're only down 1% on a return on assets, and they're up 7.6% for return on equity. So really, really good numbers there. And of course, guys, the two metrics I focus on most heavily when I'm analyzing one of these MJ companies is quarterly revenue growth and quarterly earnings growth. And Aphria has both of those by a very wide margin currently. They do have 154% on their quarterly revenue growth. We actually just covered that in the earnings report. And then their quarterly earnings growth, 748%, okay? Now, I do not know if they can maintain that kind of earnings growth. That is really, really outstanding. But even if the earnings growth did slow down a bit, this is still a very investable company that can make it up with revenue numbers and company efficiency. So, of course, Aphria is listed under two ticker symbols. On the New York Stock Exchange, it's APHA, and on the Toronto Exchange, it's APHA.to. But I have the 1-year chart pulled up on APHA. Let's just take a look at that. Actually hit the market back here in May of 2018, guys. Traded around the $9 to $10 range. Up until the middle of August when it took this humongous run up, well over $15 and $16 a share. It actually traded down and lost a little bit of value for a while. And then, of course, right here on the 2nd of November, that's when it came over to the New York Stock Exchange. And it was actually a pretty poor time to buy into the stock, unless you planned on cost averaging down, because that is when the market took its big hit, was back through November and December. Aphria actually traded down to the $4 and $5 range, actually got under $4 a couple of times. In my opinion, probably one of the best bargain buys you could have got was to get in Aphria under $4, because since that time, when it did trade down really low, has been on a tear ever since, okay? So it's traded back up over the $10, $11 range, and in the month of February, ticked back down to the $9 and $8 range. Again, that was also a very good time. If you notice, most of these dips that these companies take, if you are to assume that the markets are back to being bullish again, are usually a great way to make a quick trade or contribute to your long-term position. Because since that time, Aphria has traded back up well over $10 a share. And then there's going to be some people that are just going to patiently wait for another dip and another really cheap opportunity to buy into this stock. And so over the past week, Aphria is up about 6%. You can see it right here, guys. And over the past month is up 45.66%. And in 3 months is up 9.57%. So very good performance, since the market has recovered. And I also think it is important to mention this news article, guys, that Aphria rejected the hostile bid from Green Growth, and that the board of Aphria unanimously rejected a hostile all-stock bid from Green Growth Brands, who is offering 1.57 of its common shares for each Aphria share. Now, this was a very big news article, a couple of weeks ago that since has been silenced, but I think you should be aware of this if you're making a decision about this stock. Aphria says the bid represents a 23% discount from its recent price based on Green Growth's closing price yesterday, which says it significantly undervalues the business. So Aphria feels that their standalone business is far more valuable than what Green Growth Brands is willing to pay for it. I think that in itself is a very bullish thing that shows a lot of confidence from the company, and I think you can see that with their quarterly revenue growth and their quarterly earnings growth numbers. So is Aphria a buy? Yes, in my opinion, I think Aphria is a pretty strong buy, and I think it is a great stock to leverage in if you hold a position on ticker symbol MJ. That's the Alternative Harvest ETF. So right here, guys, again, I have talked a lot about investing into MJ. I hold a very large position in this ETF. But as you can see, this portfolio here, guys, it's made up 10% of Canopy, 9% of Cron, 8% of Tillery. Now you look through this list, guys, and it does not appear that MJ has a large holding of Aphria. So, even if this fund does have a position in Aphria, it is not very big and not very well leveraged into the rest of these positions. That's why I think first holding a pretty sizable position in MJ and kind of leveraging that with just some of the stock off the exchange of Aphria. Like I said, this company definitely has the earnings and quarterly revenue growth, and it's going to be really exciting to see what this company is capable of. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for today's video. Please drop a like, I would really appreciate that. Drop a comment if you have any more questions or anything to add to Aphria stock. Thank you so much for watching the video, and have a great day.